Welcome back, everybody. This is Rodrigo of Fonador with another episode of Asheville Real Estate News. Before we even get into today's topic, just want to remind everybody that our episode today and all of our episodes here at Asheville Real Estate News are brought to you by American IRA LLC, your local IRA custodian. So today's topic is one that is very important, but it might not draw the enthusiasm or the excitement that you would initially think. We are talking about roofs today, the ripple effects about roofs, and we're also going to get into some marketing stuff just because that's an easy place for this conversation to go. So without further ado, help me welcome my guest, Tyler Leach with IES Roofing Services.
Yes. Hey, how you doing?
Pretty good, man. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. My
Thanks.
first one, so it'll be exciting.
No. Well, thanks for joining us. Can you just give us a little bit about background on who you are, how you got, involved with IES, and what you do now for them?
Yeah, definitely. So I'm the marketing director for IES Roofing Services. Before I was in different marketing positions. It was actually nothing I wanted to get into.
Marketing or roofing?
Marketing.
Okay.
Nothing I planned to. I shouldn't say want to.
Right.
Nothing I thought of. Mm-hmm. So the first job out of college, I didn't do anything in marketing in college. I was a communications major, which depending on your university could mean a lot or could be absolutely
very little, yeah.
gobbledygook. Yeah. So and for me, honestly, I didn't get much from it. And for me, I had the scholarship, so it was all paid for.
Mm-hmm.
Most people don't have that. So I was very, very blessed with that. But
what were you on scholarship at school for?
I guess good grades.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah, good grades.
I was wondering if it was like athletics or something.
No. I did cross country and track, but
Gotcha.
nothing. Yeah, no, good grades. I'm not
Fair
that
enough.
great of an athlete. I'm like 5'7", so
Yeah.
it's nothing incredible. So my first job was in a print media company. And they did flyers, all the types of stuff you find in your mail.
Mm-hmm.
And they did a lot. They also did Social Security, end of the year statements, end of the month statements, everything. So I kind of got my feet wet in that area, and that was a unique company.
Mm-hmm.
And I was more of a quality control, but more of just every project, making sure it got done right,
Mm-hmm.
making sure everything went out right. And the next job I got was a project manager of a marketing department in books, in literature, in educational materials, and that was really fun. I got to travel across the United States. The topic wasn't a passion of mine, but it was fun. It was a great company. And then did some stuff in fitness while I was doing that, and then eventually got hired on as the marketing director for IES Roofing Services.
Very cool. And so marketing director could be a lot of things, or could be no things, or what do you do? What do you focus on? What's the day-to-day look like?
Yeah, and that is something that really I think a lot of people need to focus on as far as their approach with marketing.
Mm-hmm.
People understand that there should be a focus. Shouldn't be something that came in blind. For me, the owner, he was growing so fast, he had no marketing budget, no marketing ideas.
Right.
So when I got hired, he said, just go for it. And for me, I'd been a marketing project coordinator. And so I was used to running campaigns, but I would always get the directions from above.
Right.
And
somebody else was given
else giving directions.
Here's the idea, go make it happen. Yeah.
Yeah. But I would plan everything from social media posts to social media advertisement to email marketing to a whole host of different things. And also event marketing was part of that. So basically, he was just go for it.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the things that made it really successful at the beginning that I started to do was I really actually invested my time in LinkedIn, and LinkedIn is something that's huge and exploding right now. I don't think people realize.
Yeah, that's how I connected. I forgot what the guy's name who founded it. Kevin. Yeah, that's how we connected.
Yeah,
it was
so
on LinkedIn actually.
So I'll just touch on that really briefly and kind of go over that. So the reason why LinkedIn is cool is out of all the social media platforms, at least all the ones that are the most popular, the top tier ones we call them, between Instagram, Facebook, and LinkedIn. LinkedIn gets the most organic reach of any of them. So the official numbers are like, if you're a business, I should say, if you're a business. If you're an individual, that's different. But if you're a business, on Facebook has so little organic reach now. it's very difficult. You have to be very, very popular, have a very
well, it's because it's pay for play there,
right? It's now pay for play, yeah. And Instagram's kind of going down that road. But so the official number is like 8% of people for organic reach. Instagram's a little higher. I think it's 15 to 20. LinkedIn's 25%.
Right.
And the thing about LinkedIn is if you're a business, your stuff is out there and people are expecting to talk to you. And that's something that people don't understand. How in the world am I supposed to get in front of people? I would say, thousands of people are talking to you every single day. That's the reason they're posting stuff online. They're not posting stuff on social media, on LinkedIn, on Instagram, because, just for the ego. Well, maybe someone. But
are you sure it's not like 95% of the ego?
Yeah. But like they're posting something so people can respond. And so what I would do was and Kevin's done this too, and I have people in our company now doing it, is sometimes you just reach out to people and just say, and just being honest, just saying, hey, this is, you work in my field, I'd love to talk to you, and we offer something of value. So one thing that we do now is we do free professional video listings of properties for commercial real estate people. Bring something of value to them.
Cool.
Yeah, because I do professional videography,
and
we'll go over a little about that. And then we also do just say, hey, we have a bunch of connections because we work in the same realm.
Right.
So I can connect you with such and such.
What do you need?
So, yeah, exactly. So that's really, really popular. Or even just connecting with them and say, hey, we work in the same area.
Yeah.
And it's kind of a numbers game. Certain volume you're gonna get reach, but also just going on social media and being social. And you can spend 10 minutes and just maybe someone that you're trying to get in contact with, if they post something, put a good respond, because they put it out there for some people to respond. And if you leave a good comment or you leave a good idea and really try to help them out, you do that over a couple posts, and then you say, hey, I really think your idea is great, love your social media stuff. You're being honest, you're being genuine. They say, I'd love to meet with you. 9 times out of 10, you're probably going to get a meeting. So that's one of the things I really focused on, and then became more concentrated. And so today, what we're doing now is we revamped the website. I do everything from SEO, search engine optimization, to graphic design, to web development, to social media, content creation, to everything. So
you do a little bit of everything for IES, right?
Yes.
So, let's talk about what IES does.
Yes.
So let's talk about roofing. Okay. So what do there's a lot of water here in the mountains. Western North Carolina mountains and whatnot.
Funny thing is, I was actually in Brevard, really quickly. I was in Brevard the other day, and I was driving down a mountain. Worst storm I've ever been in my life. And I grew up in Iowa, which has not in Iowa, has tornadoes in Iowa. And like I was driving underneath fallen trees, dodging power lines. It was crazy. But yeah, so sorry.
No. There especially it feels like the last 2 years there's just been a lot of water.
Yeah.
So what and obviously roofs are a very important part to keep properties dry, and water is always going to be a pretty big contributing factor to adding to deferred maintenance or being the cause of something, unraveling really quickly as far as when it comes to the condition of a property. So
definitely.
What can you tell? We can talk commercial or residential. The more focus on residential would be ideal, but go. Yeah. Like, what do you guys do? What recommendations do you have for people who are, dealing with a bad roof or thinking about what the next step is?
Exactly. Well, we do both commercial and residential, so I'm happy to focus on both. And if you want to do it,
let's do
residential.
Let's start there.
So residential roofing, some of the things that we recommend, obviously. I'll just go through one of the big things. Right. If you have homeowner insurance policy, and especially with a lot of rain that happens, you really need to look at that because there's a good possibility that you could get at least part of your roof paid for, if not the entire thing. It's
off
true.
Your homeowner's insurance?
Home insurance, because of the storm. Now it depends on the insurance company. It depends on the type of roofer that you get. We recommend that people really get a lot of paperwork. So we have experts that are actually experts in insurance. We have people who have worked in the claims department of insurance companies, and they work for us now, and we're very, very good at spotting it. So you may have actually roof damage on there, and you may not know it. And if you look at the average cost of a medium home in America for a roof, it's anywhere from $5,000, $10,000 for a complete roof replacement.
Right.
And so obviously that's not ideal, but if you get to that point where you're having storm damage, you may think you have storm damage. Storm came through, you're suddenly getting leaks. That's probably a good indication. Now, one of the things that you can do to mitigate that, kind of not get those leaks, because I think that one of the biggest things that we can do to help people is honestly, how can they not have to use a roofer? How can they not use our services? That's the best way that we can help them, because the best way that you can help yourself with your roof is, quite honestly, checking on your roof all the time, trimming trees around it. All right?
But how often are you supposed to check on your roof? Yearly, quarterly, monthly, weekly? What are we talking about?
I'm a little more proactive, but especially if you know your area is prone to storms.
Yeah.
I would check them monthly, honestly. I would
check your roof monthly.
Depends on the size of your building, but
do you check your roof monthly?
Yes and no. So I'm always looking at my roof because I work for a roofing company.
Right.
So yes.
But so if I go and put a new roof on a house and I feel like I'm checking it monthly, I'd be like, I obviously don't trust this whoever did the roof.
Well,
right?
It depends on also your personality.
Yeah,
how crazy.
But I can get I always have heard the normal things, right? Like, make sure your gutters are clean.
Yeah. Make sure your gutters are clean. Make sure
the trees are trimmed around the house, things like that. But are you serious, or is this just industry speak about the whole monthly?
This is I do.
Okay.
Monthly, but conservative, I would say probably every 3 months. Yeah. I would, but
What are you checking for?
There's checking for everything. So obviously, you could become, I guess, a storm damage expert.
I'm just saying, in general, obviously, I'm not going to call out a roofing company every time to check my roof 4 times a year or whatever, right?
Okay.
So what?
Good things.
You check your roof, right?
Yeah. So obviously, look for if you have any type of debris, and it may be even something where just in the valleys of the roof,
right?
If you're finding sticks in something, that area, it could stop water up in the area that you want stopped up. As far as storm damage, one of the big things people don't realize that people think that to qualify for storm damage, you have to have half your roof missing and you have to have a window smashed in or something. That's not really the case. People don't realize that storm damage is one of those things that it doesn't have to have a huge visual impact for actually to qualify for storm damage. Okay. So
function impact, right? So it might not be visible, but it's leaking.
Yeah. And there are some visibility things. So for instance, if we start seeing scratches on a roof, probably means that hail. All right, scratch against that shingle. Yeah. If it's loose, some wind damage. Okay. So those are things that you can just go on and see at a place. Maybe it also depends. Who put on the roof? If it was Chuck in the truck.
Well, I think all of these are under the assumption that it's a professional, high quality roofer did.
Yeah.
So you're checking it pretty consistently.
Yes.
I cannot get on board with checking a roof once a month. That would be tough for me to personally get on board. But maybe you should.
It's funny because I go out because I always, since I started working at a roofing company, every single time I exit my house, I don't get up on the roof, but I'm always looking up at the roof. Taking a look. Okay,
Fair enough.
Yeah. So that's just me. But
So what? You guys are selling a lot of roofs, right?
Yeah,
across the Southeast. From a residential standpoint, curious here. Are you all seeing more shingle roofs, metal roofs, and what are the pros and cons of going with one over the other?
Yeah, that's a really good question. So I actually thought about writing an article about this. So we do articles on our website also. Right. And we do one of the things we've done on our social media, and we're kind of reevaluating our social media. But one thing that we did was just snippets about good information, good tips. People don't realize that, just because they see a lot of different types of roofs in their area, residential roofs, doesn't mean that's the most popular type of roof across America.
Right.
So we obviously, because we work in the Southeast, and primarily we do residential roofing more in the upstate kind of this area.
Okay.
So because of that, we see more shingle types of roofing. But, you can go to other parts of the country, up north, New England, and they may have more wood slate or something like that.
So it just depends what region. But so here in the area, though, in your opinion, you guys are doing. It feels like. Are they about the same price now? Because I remember a couple years ago,
Metal?
Metal and
no,
shingles.
metal's more expensive.
More
I couldn't give you
expensive?
I can't get the right.
But it's still
exact
okay.
price. But the benefits of metal, I think, outweigh.
So what are the benefits? What are those benefits that make it worth it?
Lasts a lot longer. So durability, just in general. It's also green because think about it, metal's recyclable. Like
shingles aren't.
Shingles aren't. Yeah, I mean they just go into a dump somewhere. Unfortunately, you can't recycle shingles. There may be some type of green shingle out there, but most shingles are not recyclable. But metal is. If you had to do a tear off, with most likely you wouldn't have to do a tear off once you put on a good metal roof. But let's say you had to do a tear off or get a piece of section, you can recycle that metal. It doesn't matter what type of metal, whether it's copper, which is super expensive, or steel, aluminum, whatever it is. It can be recyclable. Yeah. So that's one huge benefit right there. If you're more green conscious, and that's something that we're green conscious. It's durability, definitely. Fact that you get a hailstorm. I mean, you may get a little bit of dings, but it's not going to have nearly the same effect as far as a shingle roof. Yeah. I think, from my standpoint, I personally think it looks better if you're into the visual. Some people don't think so, and I think some people have the idea that metal roofs rust. Nowadays, that's not the case. I mean, they're very low rusting.
Been, like advances in technology and the product and the material.
Yeah. So we had the guy who's the sales director used to actually work at a metal roofing distributor. It wasn't Best Buy, but it was I can't remember what company it was. But
Best Buy?
It wasn't Best Buy. No.
Best Buy
Metals. Have you heard of them?
Oh no.
Oh,
I thought you were talking
they have
about
one here in Asheville.
Oh, do they? Okay.
Yeah, they're really great. Yeah. They're actually.
I thought you were talking about the retail store, like electronics.
No. Best Buy.
Okay.
Best Buy sells metal. No, Best Buy Metal is actually here in Asheville.
They got the red roof as their logo. Okay, I think I've seen them. Yeah.
So Best Buy, if you're listening, you can shoot me that check. You want me to? No. But Best Buy Metals is a company that one of the companies we use. Interesting fact: it's actually run by Mennonites, and they have a huge online store. Don't ask me how that correlates, but
Very
so
cool.
they do, but that's one of our manufacturers. But metal definitely. If you have the money, and you're saying, hey, I want my roof to be really durable. You're not wanting to tear it off ever again. Have any issues? A high storm area. Then I would suggest
that's
doing
the way
metal.
to go.
Yeah.
What about your shirt says coating ink, right?
Yeah.
And I know you mentioned to me before we kind of got started off camera that it used to be IES coating. So what is the coating component of the roofing that you all do? Yeah,
so this is great for both residential and commercial. So as I was saying before, we just did a residential roof not too long ago. That was a flat roof, and a lot of more modern, considered more modern residential homes sometimes have flat roofs. And coatings are a really, really cool topic. So coating, I'll go back. So there's two different types of coatings, I should say. So basically what a coating is, it's a monolithic, so that means one, all right, monolithic system that goes on top of a roof.
Okay.
And the benefits, the benefits of the product is the simple fact that you don't have to tear off the roof. So there's two different types of roof coatings out there. There's acrylic and there's silicone. All right. So silicone is silicone based. All right. And acrylic is water based.
Okay.
So primarily we do both.
And is there a reason you'd want to use one over the other?
Yeah. So I'll get into it. I'll talk a little bit about the what it is exactly, and what reason you want to use it. So the reason to use a roof coating is, let's say you have a roof that has a little bit of leaking issues, and you want to have something done with it before it gets bad.
Right.
And you're still having leaking issues, okay? And there's certain things that would qualify and don't qualify for a coating, okay? With a roof coating system, you don't have to tear off the roof to put on a roof coating system. Now that's huge if you know anything about the commercial side of roofing or commercial buildings. So basically, oftentimes buildings will have more than one roof system on top, more than one roofing. So they may have two TPO or a membrane type of roofs on there. Legally, you cannot put on a third roof system unless you use coatings.
So coating is kind of a loophole around that then.
Yeah. Well, not a loophole. It's because there's no weight. It has very little weight on it.
Right, because you're just adding texture, I guess, almost, right?
Yeah. But the cool thing is it has the same warranties. So 10, 15, 20-year warranties.
Oh, really? Wow.
Yeah. And those are manufactured. We're one of the only qualified installers in the area.
For the coatings.
For certain manufacturers. So
Gotcha.
we work with GE. So they actually have their own coating. It's really cool.
Wow.
It's called Endurus. Yeah. So it's very high quality. We're one of the only certified installers.
So you do put the coating on their buildings then, I'm assuming, right?
No. So it's just with they provide the warranties, the manufacturer warranties. So they own the product. And
but I mean in the GE office buildings. Are you all the ones that?
No. Here's the weird thing about GE. So if you follow GE, they have a lot of
subsidiaries.
Yeah, they have a lot of different things, little companies they've invested in and stuff. So this is actually something that they've invested in. It's called Momentive and Endurus products. So it's really, really cool how that works. But they have a bunch of different subsidiaries no, they probably have their own team that does that. So I mean, they have their own coding.
Yeah.
So they actually have a office based in Charlotte. So in case you want to know, there's an office based in Charlotte. So, but the difference between acrylic and silicone. So silicone, like I said, is silicone based, and acrylic is water based. The reasons you do one or the other is silicone cures a lot faster. So silicone takes like 30 minutes or less to cure.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And so it's really, really, really fast curing. You can get over a roof really fast. And we do both dry testing and wet testing as far as the thickness. It's called the millage. And we do both. So
which one should you use though?
Oh, I'm getting there. So
okay.
Okay, get there. So it cures really fast, and it's more waterproof than acrylic is. It's more durable. It lasts longer. But acrylic, though we don't use as much acrylic for those reasons. Acrylic takes longer to cure. It takes like 3 to 4 hours to cure, which can be an issue if you think about it, especially here. So let's say you have a building, whether it's residential or commercial, and you have you want to put on acrylic coating.
Right.
Requested acrylic coating. Okay. A storm can pop up really, really fast, especially around here.
It happens.
Right? It happens a lot.
Yeah.
As I said, driving down the mountain, scared of my life. But so storm can pop up really fast. So let's say you had a roofing company that came out at 9 o'clock in the morning, and they put a coat of acrylic on there, and it rains by 12 or 1. That acrylic's going to wash off.
Really?
Yeah. So it takes a long time to cure. And it doesn't last as long, so it degrades faster in the UV. However, acrylic is more energy efficient, so it's more of a cool roof system.
Okay.
Whereas silicone, it's still considered a cool roof system, but it's not near.
So that's the reason you'd be using an acrylic over the silicone. You're banking on the temperature component of it. Okay.
You're banking on the temperature component. So there may be situations. I mean, you may have a home that's in a very hot climate or something like that, or you have a building that you're storing something in that requires a temperature difference, and there's a bunch of different other things. I mean, you can do spray foam insulation, you can do a bunch of different things, but that's one way to make sure.
So if you were going to go roof shopping for a roof and you couldn't use IES, what would be the questions you'd be asking these prospective roofers that are showing up at your house? And it's a good roof, right? Because it's been inspected once a month.
Yeah.
So,
by your
but
neighbor,
you're like,
Tyler.
hey, I'm ready to do something else or whatever. What are the questions you'd be asking? What are the things you're looking for to know that you're working with a competent company, competent roofer?
Yeah, that's a good question. Number one thing is, I mean, before you even talk to anyone, before they even step to your door, is go online, all right? Google reviews. All right. Now, that's one of the things that we focus on in our marketing is, first of all, doing a really good job, and then getting people to leave good Google reviews. All right. That means that if you're seeing that they have a bunch of 5-star reviews, or 4.5, and they have a lot of them, chances are they're really good. Another thing is how long they've been in business.
Right.
Have they been in business a year? Could they be a great roofer? Yeah. I mean, they could be. I mean, they just decide to start their own roofing company. But, there's so many roofing companies. The lifespan of most roofing companies is so short. Like if you've been around for 5 to 10 years, you're considered a long-lasting roofing company. Yeah. So the roofing company lifespan is really, really short. So see how long they've been in business for. See how their reviews are. See if they're licensed, bonded, and insured. Right. Another big thing that people licensing is a huge one. So whether it's commercial or residential, you know, they may have a license in whatever state they're in, but are they licensed in your state? It's not a nationwide license.
Right. Yeah. It's state by state.
Yeah, it's state by state. So one thing that we come across is, you know, maybe someone has a project, whether it's commercial or residential, and they may have it in a different state, and we're licensed across multiple states. And so we often get, you know, I don't know, sometimes, you know, hopefully they would check on this before, but sometimes we get subcontracted for that. And, you know, how they went through the process to get to that point, you know, it's sometimes scary.
So check online,
Yeah.
see what you can find, check their Google reviews or whatever their testimonials are, see how long they've been in business, make sure they're licensed in your state. Anything else?
Yeah.
To create some differentiation between the competition?
I mean, I would also say, you know, how thorough they're, you know, you could probably, here's the thing, if they're a good roofing company, you know, they'll give you a good roof inspection probably for free, honestly. So, I mean, for us, you know, if someone says, hey, I think I may have storm damage, having leaks, whatever, you know, even if someone says that, and even if they don't buy from us, we're glad to give them a roof estimate. We'll look at the roof, go up on there. See how well they are at determining storm damage.
Gotcha.
You know? That's another thing, because, I mean, you could pay, it depends on how much your insurance company is willing to cover. But, I mean, you could pay very little out of pocket, or, you know, just your deductible.
Do you guys handle claims? Like, do you go to bat on behalf of a homeowner to do a roof
so we
claim?
do. Yeah, so we work with them through that. So we meet with adjusters, and we go throughout that. We meet with them on the roof. We meet with them in person. So yeah, we go to bat for them. And here's the thing: like, we can't. And one thing that people realize is what we say is not going to determine what you pay. All right, that's insurance. All right, don't want to get in any legal trouble here. So that's all up on insurance. But we look at it and say, okay, we found storm damage, and we have to bring that to the
and you substantiate that. Yeah.
And so I just want to make that clear. Don't think that we're setting a price and then the roofing company's gonna, you know, pay that. That's shady both ways.
True. Yeah.
Say, hey, you know, we're gonna charge extra, that way, you know, we get paid extra, and then or, you know, saying, hey, there's not as much damage, that would definitely hurt you if, you know, there was more damage.
You want the work done well.
Exactly.
You know, let's bring it back. Just curious, as we're wrapping up here, kind of what your opinion or feel has been, just going from the roles that you've held previously, and any just thoughts or process from being somebody who just implemented somebody else's vision to now being the vision creator or whatnot, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that is fun. I tell you what, it's kind of cool, because I get to, part of my job is also research and just say, hey, this is what's working, this is what isn't, and hey, let's try this. So at the same time, you know, I still have to run stuff by, you know, but I come up with all the ideas. Right. So my idea is, you know, I take, you know, what Bruce Lee said, basically find what works and discard what else that doesn't. And there may be something that for your business that other businesses do, and it works well for them. And you may copy the exact same thing that they do,
and it won't work.
It won't work for you.
What's the thing that's working best for you all right now?
One of the things that works best for us is, honestly, social media marketing, and we do really well with LinkedIn. And like I said, that seems like a really simple thing, but, you know, we're looking at this year, like, so when I got on board, the year before I got on board, we were doing, and I'm not saying this is because of me, but I'm saying in 2017, I think we did 1.5, or 2018, sorry, we did 1.5. Maybe a little bit over that, and now we're looking at maybe 7 to 10 million in business and in revenue. So,
it's super exciting.
Yeah, it is really exciting. So, so there's, even though it may seem really simple, you know, sometimes do the thing that works. For us, it's really difficult because we have the business to consumer and we have the business to business side. Right. And so, we have great sales guys. We run Facebook ads. We do the same ads that everyone does. But you know, having really good sales guys, just because, you know, you get leads, doesn't mean that you know they can sell them. You know, having people respond really quickly. Have a system that's put in where someone calls and it gets automatically put to a sales guy. Another thing that really works for us is SEO. That's another big thing. And so I actually had to learn that. That that's a nightmare in itself. But if anyone who's listening, if you've ever done SEO or tried to do SEO, you know that it's a pain in the butt.
Yeah, there's a lot of moving pieces to it.
A lot of moving pieces. So I learned SEO. I went through Moz Academy, which is Moz is a SEO platform. And I went through one of their academies. It took me like a few months. And I'm not an expert at it, but I definitely have seen improvements. I'm able to read the analytics. I'm able to see what issues are having on each page of my website. I'm able to fix those. I'm able to get good backlinks. And sometimes, that's one of those things that is sometimes so frustrating because I think the official number is Google changes their analytics like I want to say like a couple thousand times a year or something like that. It's insane. Like I just read that number. I didn't realize that. Like how often they change their analytics.
Well, they're always tweaking and trying to make sure that they're providing relevant content.
And some of those may be small tweaks that may not even affect it, but just the fact that they're doing that much is insane. Yeah. I think one of the things that everyone should get into is social media marketing, definitely. Social media content creation, social media, getting someone just to handle your social media, I think is huge nowadays. And I think that unfortunately a lot of people, and I see it a lot of times, people just don't know what to put out there. People don't know what to do. For us, I think one of the best things is just putting out good content. We just had a piece. We're kind of revamping what we're doing. We're trying to get more focused on kind of our the people that we work with, the companies that supply the material, not the distributors, but the people who actually make the materials. I'll stop. I don't want to reveal any of that, but
you're just creating a lot of good content, focusing on highlighting the people you work with and trying to just bring relevancy as needed, right? So,
never try to. Here's a quick tip. So, anytime you're doing any type of marketing or sales, do as much as you can to not sell yourself. So, if someone is no one likes a car salesman, all right? If you're a car salesman, I'm sorry, but no one likes the car salesman approach.
Right.
If you do everything in your power to basically help that person so that way they don't need you, they're going to use you.
What's the number tip to not use a roofer?
Number one tip to not use a roofer is, it depends on the type of roof you have. So some of the things we already talked about. So check on your roof, make sure you trim.
So just being aggressive with your maintenance.
Seeing one big thing is people don't even know how old their roof is. Whenever they bought the house, I don't know. And that's another big thing when you're going to sell your house. I know this for you.
Yeah.
If you have storm damage, or you're buying a house, about to buy a house and it has storm damage, that's one thing you can request, saying, hey, get that repaired before we buy the house.
Typically comes up on the home inspection.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, I think, roofs are always super important. So thank you for coming on to chat about roofs. And guys, check your roofs once a month if you so choose. I still can't get stuck on that. I just feel like that's so much.
Your eyes lit up.
Yeah,
I
was like,
what in the world?
That's 12 times 12. But I think the lesson there is check your roofs, be proactive. You're going to save yourself a lot of money and headaches if you're just intentional and try to do some proactive maintenance ahead of time. So any parting thoughts in regards to either roofing or the marketing component of what you do to leave everybody with?
As far as I'll do one. I'll do a roofing one and a marketing one. With roofing, there's also I forgot to add this. There's also financing options available, and I mean roofing is a big investment. I mean it is. I mean it's going to be several thousands of dollars, even if it's unless it's a very simple roof repair.
Right.
It's going to be several thousands of dollars. Another good thing about a roofing company is they'll have a good financing program, so it can be as little as $69 a month. And so that's something that if you're saying, hey, I don't have this in the budget, check to see. They may have a financing program, and that's one option. As far as marketing goes, I would say a big tip is get someone who can be on your marketing team that really is able to connect well with people and uses your social media in the same way that you would talk with someone, basically. And I'm a huge proponent of that.
Yeah,
and I think that works across both areas. I mean, we're doing a podcast here, and I mean, we're just talking back and forth. I think so many people think that something they put out there has to be super professional. It has to be, a commercial that you find, commercial you find on television or anywhere. But getting good content. I just had a quick video that we did on LinkedIn. We had 2 posts that we did recently on LinkedIn. One was an article, and one was a video. One was just us testing dry mill, which basically is dry thickness of roof coating. He's just testing it. I don't know what type of camera was shot on. It wasn't me that shot it, but we just had some text and some video. I kind of went over what we were doing and kind of looking at it. And I was surprised how much it blew up. I mean, we had like 1,300 views, and we had like almost 20 comments.
People were interested.
People were interested, yeah. We had an article that was basically very similar to that that we posted. So just to be genuine and just like you're talking with someone.
Sweet.
So, yeah. Yep.
Tyler, man, well, thanks so much for joining us on the show. And everybody else, there you go. Now you know who to talk to if you have some questions about roofing. What's the best place for them to find you all online?
Yeah, so we have iesroofing.com, and we have residential section, and we have commercial section. Talk a little about coatings on there too. We also have our Instagram, which is IES Coatings Inc. So not IES Roofing, IES Coatings Inc. We have a YouTube channel, just IES Roofing Services. Type in IES Roofing Services. Same thing for Facebook. And we don't do as much with Twitter, but we do have a Twitter account. Gotcha. So, and if you want to talk to Kevin or myself on LinkedIn, you can do that too. So
cool.
Yep.
Awesome. All right, there you have it. You guys, see you all next week. And in the meantime, hope you guys have a powerful week.